going on? So, I recorded a video, but I never did post it. And then I guess now that I've gone a little forward on it, now I kind of have, I guess, the flip side of that coin. So years ago, when I was upgrading camera stuff, I sold my A6000, a 10 to 18, and an 18 to 200. And ever since then, it was when I was making the move to not yawn. When I was moving to getting the RX100 Mark VI, and it was like, okay, this is going to be my perfect travel camera. Well, now, forward of that, I really wish I would have kept that camera system, because that wide angle is just, it was amazing. And I've kind of looked around, and I'm still in the market to find a good deal on the, can't think of which one it is. I think it's a 12 to 24, or 12 to 18, or 10 to 24. It's something. It might be a 10 to 20, 10 to 24 lens for the Fuji mount. I've found, as good as about 700 used, but I'm really hoping I can find one out there for about 500 or so. Maybe. Yeah, I'm in not one of those. I'm not in a rush to find the lens. I'd even toyed around with looking at, buying another A6000 and a used 10 to 18 if I could get, a better price going that route. But still not having any luck doing that yet, so we'll see. But also, I was thinking, years ago, a buddy of mine and I, we wanted to do like a photography podcast. And if you ever watched Frono's Photo or Jared Polin, whichever way his channel is, he used to do Raw Talk, and he may still have the podcast of it out. They may still produce that, but they don't produce the video of it anymore, which is really, it's a loss. I really wish that was still out there. But I think it was just they were losing the viewership of it and stuff and other projects. But a friend of mine went to try and do a photography podcast in a similar style, but our own type. Not trying to be a copy of their stuff, but just our own content. And so had ended up purchasing, the XLR mics and the stands and the recorder, and really wanted to do a good production value on that. And we never, was scheduling, and it just never took off. Really took off like we wanted to. Being able to record episodes and stuff like that. And what a lot of people don't realize is, these little videos don't take much to record and do anything with. But when you try and get into having a scheduled podcast and you try and do all this different stuff, it does become very time consuming. There's time getting content, organizing the content, recording the content, processing the content, uploading the content. It takes a lot of time. And well, doing all that, looking back, it's kind of one of those. Now I've got, two mics I don't use anymore. And if you watched my last video, I was talking about starting a new little thing on the channel. And I did pick up the Rode SC6L, which is basically a dual lavalier input with the ability to attach headphones for monitoring to the iPad or an iPhone, or basically most any iOS device, and use their app. Or when you're recording video or screen recording, it can record the audio from that. But picked that up basically to start using that, to record like some podcast style videos. Either basically record the audio, dump that into iMovie, throw a few still images on there to add a little visual, but basically just be the kind of content that I look for. I look for, like when I'm going to bed, pretty much, I'll find a video, and it's one thing, I really wish YouTubers would kind of be a little aware of this. Some are, some aren't, but some content, like I'll put the video on and I'll fall asleep with it playing, and I'll end up watching the entire video or whatever it is I'm watching eventually. But looking for content where it's either somebody going around just talking to their camera, or going around or just sitting in front of their camera just talking about whatever it is that I'm interested in. But when they're talking and their levels are all over the place, it's their low, so you gotta up the volume, and then they start getting loud, and then you gotta drop the volume down. When I'm trying to sleep, it's kind of causes issue with that. But back to the focus of this video. I kind of wish I wouldn't have gone the route I did with buying all that stuff to do the podcast. I wish I would have thought back then to go simple with some lav mics or something. But yeah. So it's kind of that whole be realistic with your goals and stuff, and sometimes it's nice to get the equipment to do a nice professional production, but sometimes it's better to just go with a quality minimalistic setup. So I think I'll probably do a little video on that. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.